Germany today is divided into two parts. What we commonly call West Germany is the group of states united into the Federal Republic of Germany. Flowing through West Germany from Switzerland to the North Sea is the famous Rhine River. Branching off from the Rhine is a tributary named the Ruhr River. And along both banks of this river is a district called the Ruhr also. The Ruhr is a busy place because there are large deposits of coal here and many factories that produce chemicals, iron, steel, and their products. The gray skies, always filled with smoke, tell us how productive the area is. Danger, mixer tipping, the sign says. It means that hot molten steel is being poured. Eventually, the steel is made into railroad cars, locomotives, and other products that are important to all of Europe. The people in these factories work hard to support themselves and their families at home. In Essen, a large city like our Detroit or Pittsburgh, we're going to meet a family named Müller. They live in an apartment house. Mr. Müller is known in Germany as Herr Müller. Herr Müller gets up at 5:30 in the morning while his 4 children, Rolf, Lisa, Marga, and Gertrude, are still asleep. Father, or Vater, as the German children say, starts breakfast with coffee to be followed by bread, butter, and sausage. Before Mother, or Mutter, sits down to breakfast, she goes to wake the children while her husband reads about the world's happenings in this newspaper published in the Ruhr. The children would like to stay in their comfortable feather bed with its ruffled pillowcases, but they go to school, as all German children do, at least until they're 14. After breakfast, Herr Müller leaves for work. At this hour, the sky is always gray with smoke, especially on a cold December day like this. And since the factories begin early, there are people already on the street waiting for streetcars and buses to take them to work. Not far from his house, Herr Müller boards a streetcar to go to one of the Krupp plants. Krupp is a large manufacturing company as famous as Ford and General Motors are in the United States. When he gets to the factory, Herr Müller changes his clothes before he goes to work at a machine which cuts steel. At home, after breakfast, Mother helps Rolf and the twins with their wraps. 5-year-old Lisa and Marga will walk part way with their brother when he goes to school this winter morning. Near the school, 2 patrol guards guide the children across the street safely. A patrol guard is proud of his job and likes to wear his white hat as a symbol of the important work he does. Like other German school children, these first graders carry their books in leather book bags on their backs. Today, lessons begin with the name of a musical instrument, the flute, or, in German, Flöte. The children pretend they are playing the flute themselves. Then the teacher recites a poem about 2 boys, and the children respond with hand gestures. The teacher, Herr Fahrenberg, enjoys his work with Elfriede and Rolf, Hans, Erich, Ingrid, Sigrid, and the others. About 10 o'clock in the morning, when the children are getting hungry, there is a recess period. Milk is distributed to all who've paid for it. The children consider it a special privilege to be the milk monitor. Today, Sigrid gets the chance to practice some of the social graces. The rest of the children talk and laugh quietly until the reading period begins. Rolf takes his schoolwork seriously because he is beginning to understand that education will help him in his daily living and in the future. So he hunts for the right place now, eager to find it. Meanwhile, Lisa and Marga come in from out of doors to look for a mid-morning snack on the cupboard shelves that are as familiar to them as the refrigerator is to us. A bit later, it is time for lunch at the Krupp Works, and Father Müller is hungry too. In this clean-looking factory cafeteria, a substantial meal is ready: meat, potatoes, vegetables. The workers do not have a choice of dishes, but the food is appetizing and plentiful. In the dining room, shop workers and office workers eat together. Herr Müller joins some friends who are engineers. They talk about the factory and about questions Herr Müller will ask the representative of the union, to which workers of different crafts in this factory belong. Besides wages and hours of work, Herr Müller is especially interested in the factory's program of instruction for apprentices. Under this program, boys of 14 or 15 are trained in the plant after they have attended a vocational school for 3 years. In this way, they learn their trades thoroughly and get valuable experience. It may be that Rolf Müller will become an apprentice someday, but right now, going with Mother and the twins to the store will occupy the afternoon. From their apartment, the Müllers walk down a cobblestone street, past typically German buildings with plain lines, steeply slanted roofs, and squarish dormer windows. When they've walked a few blocks, they come to a busy section of town where there are German-made cars on the street and many stores. Some of the stores are owned by the factories, but not this one where Mrs. Müller, or Frau Müller as she is called in Germany, selects what she wants among the fresh vegetables and salad greens. Here, paying with German marks and pfennigs, she may purchase by metric weight cookies and other such delicacies, or bananas transported from Central America. Such a modern aspect of life in the Ruhr is in contrast with the fish peddler who cleans your supper before your eyes and gives his surroundings an old-world look. These contrasts between the old ways and the new ones can be seen everywhere in Essen. Here is a building that, in style, looks backward to times gone by. Yet not far away is a church so modern in design that seeing it is like peering into the future. The children living near accept the modern look of this church as readily as they do their newly built houses. They take change for granted, as we do. And just as we do, most of them love to play outdoors. This little girl makes up a game of her own. Older children shout to call their friends as they race across a footbridge in the park or roller skate on the sidewalks of quiet streets out of the way of traffic. They enjoy these hours of active play after school. And even better than the sidewalk are the safe playgrounds. Some of their playground equipment looks different from ours. Do you see what's unusual about this slide? What skills do you think are needed to go down it? Just as we do, these children hope to grow up strong and healthy with families of their own. Do you see the Müller twins here? When they get home, they find Mother preparing for dinner a kind of potato dumpling that is Father's favorite dish. So Marga and Lisa get busy too at their own toy cupboard. This requires close attention, for while they play with dishes and linens, they are learning to be capable, industrious housekeepers like their mother. Good homemaking is the pride of all German women. Frau Müller's neat Chinese stove burns coal, and it works well. She grinds potatoes to make the dumplings, and with them she will serve beef stew, since the family usually has vegetables and fish or meat for dinner. Frau Müller's budget does not allow many frozen vegetables or pre-cooked foodstuffs, because such things are not as plentiful as they are here. But she enjoys cooking. Liking for good food, for neatness and cleanliness, are characteristic of the German people. While the beef stew and dumplings cook, Mother sits down with her knitting, and the children play games in the living room. For all of them, this is a happy hour. They are hungry, dinner is almost ready, and Father is coming home soon. At gate 14, the end of the day is the same as it is anywhere in the world. Time to go home to family and rest and good food. Father Mueller is so pleased to see his favorite dish that he doesn't wait for the rest of dinner before tasting the dumplings. But the family does not linger over dinner, for downtown, the holiday signs and lighted stores beckon the Muellers to come and do their Christmas shopping. What will they find on this familiar street? It is turned into a bright fairyland. The twins do not know about Santa Claus, but look for the angel child called Christkindl, and for a Christmas man they call the Weihnachtsmann. Both, they hope, will bring them presents. And in these windows, the children are sure to find autos and skates and games made by Germany's famous toy makers to fit the pocketbook of the Mueller family's own present giver. Here are plenty of dolls and animals and birds, gay storybook creatures to excite the fancy of all children. Many of these windows contain items the Muellers just like to see on display. For Christmas is the time to walk through fairyland, to look, to wonder, and to dream. The message of Christmas, with its deep religious dream of goodwill to men, comes to the Muellers again as they go together to Mass on Sunday morning. They are wearing their best. Father Mueller, the long leather coat so popular here. There are equal numbers of Protestant and Catholic worshipers in the whole of the federal republic we call West Germany. But in the Ruhr, there are more Catholics than Protestants, and the Muellers go to the Catholic church in their parish. After the service, the streets are crowded with people seeking the amusements and the quiet relaxation offered in the city of Essen on a Sunday afternoon. And indeed, it does get quiet. In the suburbs, weekday traffic practically disappears, so that the bicyclists have the roads almost to themselves. But the absence of hustle and bustle does not mean that people are not enjoying their leisure. They often gather in restaurants for social good times and for the sports they like. Here, the game is skittles, a kind of bowling. Jumping out of the way of the ball is not part of the game, though it's safer in this amateur contest where the score is higher on laughter than on points. But Sunday afternoon hours still grow long when you are the age of the twins, seeking adventure. There must be some excitement around if you knew just where to look for it. Real surprises can come your way. And sure enough, they're here, Grandma and Grandpa, or as the children say, Großmutter and Großvater. Frau Mueller's parents and her sister Louisa have come to see the Mueller family. They have come to share that warm, comfortable state of hominess the Germans call Gemütlichkeit. This cozy companionship, the good humor, the customs of respect for age and experience, and the polite manners which exist among the very young, all support the strong ties of confidence and love that bind a German family together. And so, before the children go to sleep under their big feather bed quilt, they repeat the prayer so often heard in German homes.
Müde bin ich, geh zur Ruh, schließe beide Äuglein zu.
I am tired. I want to keep both my eyes closed now and sleep. Father, let your eye instead look upon me in my bed. Let this family be blessed. In your hand, God, let them rest. Every person, small and grown, shelter, Father, as your own.